So the Constitutional Court has ruled that police raids targeting undocumented migrants in the inner city of Johannesburg were cruel, degrading and invasive. The raids were led by the former mayor of Johannesburg, Herman Mashaba, and the police between June 2017 and May 2018. More than 20 police raids were conducted on residents occupying 11 so-called bed buildings. Let's now speak to Nkosinathi Sithole, who is with the Socio-Economic Rights Institute. He represents the residents that were evicted. Thank you for making time, Nkosinathi. So let's first speak about this section of the South African Police Service Act that has been scrapped from its statute book and what its implications on poor and vulnerable people have been.
Yes. So, Clement, what this section entailed, or what it did in its original form, was to allow the members of SAPS, through an authorization that will be issued, that they can cordon off a particular area where they can go in and conduct searches of people's persons, homes, and so on. And this allowed them to do so without a search warrant or any prior warning to those communities. Yeah. Now, this as you correctly put it, was then used by the then Johannesburg mayor, Herman Mashaba, to in fact target the poor and the undocumented immigrants. The section has not entirely been scrapped out of the logbooks. It is still there. What the Constitutional Court has done after the High Court hearing was to confirm that in its original form it was unconstitutional, and provided a much better reading of it that is in line with our democratic values, to say that those searches cannot be done without a warrant.
Yeah. How far do you think this judgment goes in affirming the residents' rights, especially the rights to dignity and privacy? Because I think as recently as July, we saw something similar happening when police were going on a raid house to house, targeting these vulnerable people and searching their homes ostensibly without warrants of arrest. So how far do you think this is going to go in remedying that situation, especially now that we saw such scenes playing out as recently as a couple of months ago?
Definitely, Clement. It goes a long way. It goes a long way in affirming our democratic value as a country and what we stand for. And the most known principle that the society is not there for the law, but the law is there for the society. What the recent raids that we saw after the looting and so on, had the judgment come sooner, possibly those could have been deterred. And as you know, that they probably were done without any legal basis, but they could have been deterred to the extent that they were conducted in terms of Section 13(7), which they were not. But also, what was quite instrumental in this judgment, or about this judgment, was that the court did not only declare this part of the section unconstitutional, but it also found that what the city was doing also in conducting its own separate raids with Home Affairs and so on, that was unlawful. So the recent raids that had taken place with a view apparently to recover stolen items would have been in breach of this judgment had it come before those raids were conducted.
Yeah. What about the argument that there are often delays in obtaining a warrant, and that jeopardizes the work of the police, in that by the time that the warrant is granted, it's too late. The object of the search has been removed.
Remember, for there to be a search, there must be a search of a particular thing. You don't just go into someone's premises and say, I'm searching with the hope that I'm going to find, an incriminating object or an object that was used to commit a crime. So, if indeed the law enforcement have received a tip that there is certain objects that are in a particular area that are called Section 20 articles, which means that they are objects that have been used in the commission of a crime or will be used to commit a crime or in evidence elsewhere. Then the law enforcement agency will then be able to go to that specific place and recover those specific items in terms of Section 22 of the Criminal Procedure Act, because that allows them, where they have clear information, not just a hunch, clear information that there is a particular object that is being hidden in a particular place. Not just to go in a rampage and raid people's homes. That is a violation of Section 14 of the Constitution and Section 10, which governs the dignity of people.
All right. Nkosinathi Sithole is with the Socio-Economic Rights Institute. I appreciate your time on eNCA this afternoon.